You know what? This is just like a breath of fresh air. I'm not kidding. I think it's been day 5, day 6. I don't even know what day it is, to be honest. But it's just everyone's in it for the right reason. Everyone's in it. You have great energy. You have great people. And at the end of the day, everyone's putting aside their agendas and doing what's best for the team. And let me tell you, it is refreshing and everyone's excited to be here.
Remember when Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter thought they could bully Caitlin Clark without consequences, when defenders could target the rookie with cheap shots, while refs looked the other way? That era just came to a spectacular end. She needs an enforcer. She needs a brute that will wreck people. If they wreck her, Sophie Cunningham just stepped into Fever training camp with a message so powerful it's sending shockwaves through the WNBA. The veteran sharpshooter with a Taekwondo black belt isn't just joining the team, she's now the enforcer for the league's most targeted star. In this video, we'll break down Sophie's training camp play and interviews, and why she's now becoming the secret weapon of the Indiana Fever against all the bullies. If you're excited, then comment Sissy and Sophie down below. Let's.
Sometimes you need one of those players on your team. You need one of those enforcers. Every good player, by the way, every good player, every good team that is a super duper star. Most of the time have enforcer type players.
Remember when Caitlin Clark stepped into the WNBA as the most hyped player ever? The excitement quickly turned into something else entirely as games unfolded. A disturbing pattern emerged that left fans and analysts alike stunned by what they were witnessing. The numbers tell a story that can't be ignored. A shocking 17% of all flagrant fouls in the entire WNBA last season were committed against just one player, Caitlin Clark. Think about that for a second. One rookie in a league of elite athletes somehow became the target for nearly 1/5 of the most dangerous fouls in the game. This wasn't coincidence, it was calculated.
So there's a hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down.
The pattern became impossible to deny. Opponents weren't just playing physical basketball. They were specifically targeting Clark with punishing screens, excessive body contact, and plays that crossed the line from competitive to dangerous. What should have been a celebration of remarkable talent turned into a nightly gauntlet of punishment. The worst offenders quickly became obvious to anyone watching. Angel reestablished herself as Clark's most visible antagonist, combining relentless physical play with constant trash talk designed to throw the rookie off her game. But perhaps the most blatant moment came courtesy of Kennedy Carter, whose shoulder check during a fast break instantly went viral across social media platforms. These weren't just basketball plays, they were statements.
What made matters worse? The officials consistently failed to provide adequate protection. Refs repeatedly swallowed their whistles on plays that would have earned immediate calls for other players.
Through it all, Clark showed remarkable composure despite enduring treatment that would have sent many veterans into public complaints. She never once used media availability to criticize officials or opponents. Instead, she put her head down and played through the contact, embodying a level of professionalism that belied her rookie status. But the toll was visible in her performance, her body language, and most importantly in her ability to play her natural game. The Fever front office wasn't blind to what was happening as they watched their franchise cornerstone absorb punishment night after night. They reached a decisive conclusion: this treatment would not continue into Clark's sophomore season. Their response wasn't just about adding talent. It was a calculated decision to construct a roster specifically engineered to protect their star.
He needs an enforcer, and if it ain't gonna be me, Michelle Rappaport, like, where is Charlize Oakley? Doesn't her team have like a Zavaria McDaniels or a Rakisha Mahorn? She needs like a goon on her team, because when your star player that's bringing so much money, so much attention to the league, and it's a collective, it's a bunch of them, it's been brewing.
This wasn't simply about winning more games. It was about sending a message to the entire league that targeting Caitlin Clark would now come with immediate consequences. The Fever weren't just building a team. They were creating a fortress around their most valuable asset. But the burning question remained: would lead this new protective mentality on the court? The Fever needed someone with the perfect combination of skill, experience, and the willingness to enforce boundaries. They found their answer in a 6 One in Dynamo with a black belt in Taekwondo and a reputation for never backing down from confrontation. Can Clark was getting hit a lot. She was getting hit a lot early, and they needed their Charles Oakley. You've got that in Sophie Cunningham. Enter Sophie Cunningham, a player whose reputation preceded her, but whose true mission in Indiana wasn't fully understood until she grabbed the microphone at training camp. Behind her career 37.8%, 8% three-point shooting lies something far more valuable to the Fever: a Warriors mentality and a message that made waves across the league.
That's what they were doing in the offseason. They were trying to get winners, people who know how to compete, people who want to win, and put that together with experience, people who have championships. And so when you have that type of combination, and us kind of young bucks, I'm kind of a tweener, and then you have the vets, you're just trying to be a sponge, you're trying to learn, you're trying to be good now, but at the end of the day, you're trying to be the best when it's preseason, right? And so that's why you have those vets, is so you can learn from them. They've been around the game for a really long time, and that's kind of the refreshing part about being on this team, is that everybody wants to learn, and so everyone's dialed.
As Cunningham walked into her first Fever media session, reporters expected the usual pleasantries about new beginnings and team goals. Instead, they got 6 words that reverberated throughout the basketball world. I'm here to make sure nobody takes cheap shots at our players. That stops now in an era where most athletes stick to carefully crafted PR statements. Cunningham's blunt declaration felt like a thunderclap.
I think that everyone knows that we have something special here. I think a lot of teams have a lot of teams that are special, a lot of rosters that are special, but can you put it together? Can you put aside your agendas? Can you come into work every single day when you're tired, when you're sore, and still get something done and stack the days? And that's what we're doing. Today was tough. You know what I mean? Like, we've been going for a long time. They haven't been, this is not an easy training camp, I'll tell you that, but I think we're going to be better for it. And I think if you ask anyone, everyone kind of just feels that nice.
What makes her particularly suited for this protective role isn't just her physical presence on the court. Her background showcases a foundation of discipline and physical prowess that translates directly to her playing style. Throughout her WNBA career, Cunningham has built a reputation as someone who never shies away from confrontation, making her the perfect shield for a team needing to establish boundaries.
You're 7, and I did not believe people when they're like, hey, when you get old, you're gonna know. Boy, I think I'm starting to get old, and I hate saying that. But no, it's just, we play fast, right? We're gonna be quick. We're a run and gun, we're a shooting team. But with that, you got to get your cardio. With that, you have to play fast but play smart. And so there's a fine line between that, and we're all trying to get that. There's a lot of people here, a lot of different rotations, a lot of people that you haven't played with before. So you have to know where they want the ball, when they want it, their rhythm, their style of play. And so a lot of people are learning, but it's fun, right? Everyone's excited to be here. Everyone's working hard. We've had 3 really, really good days.
The veteran's commitment goes beyond just standing guard over Indiana's star rookie during training camp interviews. She emphasized creating an environment where mutual support becomes second nature. It's important that we know and love each other off the court, Cunningham explained, because that naturally translates to on-court chemistry and an willingness to fight for each other. This philosophy reveals a deeper strategy. She's not just protecting Clark. She's fostering a culture where every player feels secure.
Chemistry building process been like, especially off the court?
Yeah.
Since you guys are all now in market.
I don't even want to sound like this, but it's been easy. It's been easy because you have really, really great people here that want to be a part of something special. And so they're not only phenomenal athletes, but they're phenomenal people. They're out in the community. They do what's right. I don't know, we're just good stewards. And so when you're around those types of people, it's refreshing. And when I say this, I'm truly happy to be here because it hasn't been like this for my career in a really long time.
When reporters pressed her specifically about the physical treatment Clark endured during her rookie season, Cunningham didn't mince words. That's not basketball. She stated firmly, "That's not going to happen on my watch." The directness of her response left no room for interpretation. The days of using excessive physicality as a strategy against the Fever's franchise player were over.
You play with the GOAT of our team, or the GOAT of our game. You're going to learn a lot. You have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times. And the way that she throws the ball is a lot how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her. So she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball. And so you just have to be ready for that. And I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable.
interchangeable, and Cunningham's experience playing alongside legends like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Greer has given her unique insight into handling the spotlight. I understand what it's like to have every move scrutinized, she noted during camp, explaining her approach to shutting out external noise and protecting the team's mental space. This veteran wisdom is proving invaluable for a young team facing unprecedented attention.
Grateful and blessed to have my time out in Phoenix. I met a lot of cool people. I had a lot of great teammates. I learned a lot, had a lot of great times, but just a new era for me, right? A new system, a new type of energy. And so of course I'm excited for it. I'm happy to be close to my family. I'm excited to have my teammates. So I'm started to even get close with now. And I think we're gonna be lifelong friends. And so, I don't know, it's a new vibe and I'm happy.
What makes her presence particularly potent is how her basketball skills complement her protective instincts. That deadly three-point accuracy forces defenders to stay honest, creating more space for Clark to operate. It's a dual threat that makes the Fever significantly more dangerous opponents now face both athletic consequences for targeting Clark and basketball consequences for ignoring Cunningham. Beyond that deadly three-point shooting lurks something even more valuable to Caitlin Clark's success of basketball, a cue that anticipates threats before they materialize. While fans might notice the scoring partnership forming between these two coaches, are seeing something much more significant developing on the defensive end of the floor.
We have entered Indiana Fever training camp day 3, and Sophie Cunningham is killing
it in the heat of practice sessions. Cunningham isn't just talking about protection, she's demonstrating it through a constant stream of communication that transforms Indiana's defensive positioning. Watch closely during drills, and you'll see her pointing out screens before they happen, directing traffic like an on-court air traffic controller, and ensuring Clark never gets blindsided by picks she doesn't see coming. This strategic awareness creates an early warning system that allows Clark to navigate the court without constantly looking over her shoulder. Applause music. The practice footage tells a compelling story. During scrimmages, Cunningham doesn't just react to defensive breakdowns, she prevents them entirely. She's constantly calling out positions, anticipating offensive movements, and organizing the entire defensive unit to work as a single cohesive force. This proactive approach means Clark can focus entirely on her offensive game without worrying about where the next hit might come from. Music. What makes this partnership particularly special is how it extends beyond the court. Between drills, Clark and Cunningham are often huddled together, engaged in animated conversations about strategy and team dynamics. This rapid development of off-court chemistry has created a foundation of trust that translates directly to game situations when the pressure mounts in the fourth quarter. That established connection means they can communicate with just a glance or nod. Cunningham's versatility adds another layer to her protective presence. Her ability to play multiple positions from point guard all the way to power forward gives the Fever unpredictable lineup combinations that keep opponents guessing. This positional flexibility creates matchup problems for other teams while providing Clark with different types of support depending on the situation.
She sees the Indiana Fever putting Sophie back in that 3 position, so she sees her having like more of a breakout season than she'd had at the Mercury, having to play a position that wasn't exactly natural to her. But watching the footage, it's kind of crazy because I see Sophie Cunningham now as being able to play the 1, the 2, the 3, and with her experience over at Mercury, the 4. Sophie Cunningham at the 1 as the point guard, you're crazy, you say. But
the impact extends beyond just the Clark-Cunningham connection. Teammates have begun adopting this same protective mindset, creating a team-wide culture where standing up for each other is simply what they do. It's no longer just about one enforcer. It's about an entire team that refuses to let any member get targeted or isolated.
We have Sophie with the ball. She's running it up the court. She's directing traffic. Nice pass over to, what is that, Jalen? And look at that pass over to Lexi, cross-court pass. And she seems to have evolved as a leader, like talking to everybody in the huddle.
And run, make them run. We need to be quicker than that. Okay.
And it looks like they were just kind of testing out Sophie as a point guard.
3. The ripple effects of this protective team culture have created a mathematical problem no opposing coach can solve. When you build a defensive wall around the most electric offensive talent in a generation, what exactly are opponents supposed to do? The Fever aren't just building for the future anymore. They're coming for everything right now. Indiana's front office has orchestrated a masterclass in team construction that extends far beyond creating a security detail for their star. They've assembled a championship-caliber squad virtually overnight. Natasha Howard doesn't just bring intimidation to the court. She carries 3 championship rings and a Defensive Player of the Year trophy. With her arrival instantly transforms Indiana's defensive identity, establishing a new standard and providing a championship blueprint that younger players can follow.
See Sophie just coming in for a few minutes a game and, giving Caitlin Clark a rest or anybody else a rest, starting at the 1, migrating over to the 2, whatever. She seems to be able to do it, and she isn't looking bad while doing it. She's confident. She's hitting her targets cross court, and there is more footage showing her spotting up so she can still go over to the 2, to the 3, to the 4 even, spot up at the wing and knock down a
The genius of this roster construction becomes apparent when you see how each piece complements the others. Brianna Turner, with back-to-back all-defensive first-team selections, creates what teammates are already calling a no-fly zone in the paint. Her quiet intensity perfectly balances Cunningham's vocal leadership, giving opponents nowhere to hide on either.
It's going to be Caitlin Clark flash show. So it's going to be phenomenal playing with a point guard, like you said, that have a good vision on the court, because that's like as soon as she gets the ball in her hand, she's throwing it up because she already see the person down the court before she even get the ball in her hand. So that's one thing I love about her vision on the court. I really can't wait to catch all those passes and give her all the assists that she needs.
Yes, what excites you the most about this team that you're going to be joining? I mean, they have dynamic pieces in CC. And a Kelsey Mitchell, and AB, and Lexi Hall. I mean, they have a great core, so why not just add to that? And try to take us to the next level and